months away from announcing whether she'll run for president. But with the rollout this week of parts of her new book, Hard Choices, including the leak of her chapter on Benghazi, it feels as if we've now begun the 2016 campaign. We'll talk with a key Clinton supporter in a few minutes, but first, the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus. And, Chairman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good morning, Chris.
In the Benghazi chapter of her book, Senator Clinton says that you and other Republicans are exploiting this tragedy. She writes this: I will not be part of a political slugfest on the backs of dead Americans. It's just plain wrong, and it's unworthy of our great country. Those who insist on politicizing the tragedy will have to do so without me. Chairman Priebus, do you think that Clinton is trying to cut off discussion of Benghazi, and do you think she's trying to get out of testifying before the new House Select Committee?
Well, I wouldn't doubt that, but, you know, Hillary has been playing politics with this issue from the very beginning, and now she's launching a political defense, an organized political defense. I mean, how did this chapter get leaked to the newspaper? It got leaked because, obviously, their people are trying to preempt or stop any more criticism that she's been receiving on Benghazi. But she, from the beginning, as Secretary of State, should have known that this was al-Qaeda the entire time. And now she's claiming somehow that this is a political attack. She played a part in the White House's cover-up of what this is all about in Benghazi. It was a terrorist attack. Our heroes and diplomats have died and were murdered. And she continues to play politics. Hillary Clinton is politics 24/7, and this is no different. This is not going to end. We are going to continue to pursue this, and she needs to answer the tough questions as to what happened and why it is.
Well, let me ask you about that, because you say that there's, you know, there are tough questions. She says there's nothing new to learn. She writes this in the chapter: there is a difference between unanswered questions and unlistened to answers. So let's put it out there. What questions do you have for Clinton about Benghazi? What is it she gets wrong in this chapter in her new book?
First of all, I don't understand how, from the very beginning, the CIA and our intelligence said immediately that this was al-Qaeda. In the book, she continues to use this line of logic that because there is no evidence that the video didn't play a role, therefore the evidence is that it could have played a role. Where if you look at what has been put on paper and what the reports have now said without question that al-Qaeda was involved, how is it that she could be the Secretary of State in the greatest nation on the face of the earth, with the best intelligence on the face of the earth, yet she continues to perpetrate this political answer, number one, to make sure that Barack Obama got himself reelected, but number two, to save her own hide by perpetrating this lie. Here's another question. Why was it that Hillary Clinton was not the person on television that Sunday morning? How was it that Susan Rice was chosen? In December of 2012, Susan Rice said the reason Hillary Clinton didn't show up on television that morning was that she had a grueling week and was tired. Now, one of two things are true. Either Susan Rice is telling the truth and Hillary Clinton was tired and she failed to report for duty, and therefore I don't know how she can be president of the United States. Or second, Susan Rice is lying, and in fact, Hillary Clinton wasn't tired, and that's not the reason she didn't report for duty. The fact is, Hillary Clinton has to answer these questions, number one, and number two, if she's even thinking about running for president, I think that she has been disqualified because of her actions here.
In the Benghazi chapter, Clinton says that she never saw these demands, these requests from Ambassador Chris Stevens, who was killed in the Benghazi attack, for more security. In the book, she writes this: that's not how it works, talking about seeing cables that they would get up to her level. That's not how it works. It shouldn't, and it didn't. Do you see parallels between Clinton and VA Secretary Shinseki, who also says he wasn't getting the information from lower-level people?
Well, I mean, I think that's a good point. And I also think it brings us back to Barack Obama. I mean, here is the president that in 2005, when he was senator, he said he was going to fix this issue in regard to the VA. Getting to your question, though, Barack Obama also said, you recall, in 2008, that no detail, no issue was too small for him to tackle. Yet now he comes on television 2 days ago and says, hey, listen, the Secretary of the VA couldn't possibly know these details underneath because, you know, it's unfortunate he wasn't getting the information. Hillary Clinton's saying the same thing. Well, it's too much minutia for me to understand what's going on. You're the Secretary of State. Now you're launching a political response and saying that you don't want to play politics. I don't think she's any different than Barack Obama. I think they're one and the same. I think her career over a long period of time is insignificant in accomplishment.
Well,
and I think we're going to keep talking about
that because Clinton's 4 years as Secretary of State are obviously going to be the top item on her resume if she runs for president. How do you think she did as Secretary of State?
I think she gets an F as Secretary of State. I mean, whether it be Boko Haram, Russian reset, Iran sanctions that they fought the whole time and now claim credit for, and now obviously Benghazi. Go to her Senate days. What's there? I don't know. Her days as First Lady, granted some turbulent times, but, you know, what does she have there? She has Hillary care.
Let me ask you this, because you said recently that you doubt that Clinton will run for president. But this book launch has all the markings of the beginning of a rollout of her presidential campaign. There's a new poll out this week. Let me put it on the screen. A new Washington Post poll. 55% say they would support Clinton as a candidate for president. Honestly, Chairman, aren't you trying to rough up Hillary Clinton precisely because she's such a formidable candidate?
I don't think it's a matter of roughing her up because she's a candidate. I think if her people want to play this parlor game of acting like she wants to be president, then they're going to get the scrutiny for playing that game. I actually doubt. I don't know whether she's going to run. I doubt if she continues to have the trouble she's having whether she is going to run. But I also know that publishers of books create this environment to make a lot of money. And that's what Hillary Clinton is doing. She's making a lot of money. She's writing books. She's doing speeches. All of this talk helps her make money. And as long as she's making money, she's going to keep this up. So
nothing wrong with that. It's a free market system, sir.
There's nothing wrong with making money. But I would not. But what I'm saying is don't be confused by her pursuit of money with her pursuit.
Months away from announcing whether she'll run for president. But with the rollout this week of parts of her new book, Hard Choices, including the leak of her chapter on Benghazi, it feels as if we've now begun the 2016 campaign. We'll talk with a key Clinton supporter in a few minutes, but first, the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus. And, Chairman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good morning, Chris.
In the Benghazi chapter of her book, Senator Clinton says that you and other Republicans are exploiting this tragedy. She writes this: I will not be part of a political slugfest on the backs of dead Americans. It's just plain wrong, and it's unworthy of our great country. Those who insist on politicizing the tragedy will have to do so without me. Chairman Priebus, do you think that Clinton is trying to cut off discussion